I got lots of exciting stuff to talk about tonight. So, welcome everybody. Happy Monday, and a special welcome tonight. We have Jessie Kolbenschlag, and she is going to share her brilliance with us. I met Jessie in Legacy. For those of you that haven't heard how I met her through the Holistic Life Coaching Program, and we immediately hit it off. I love her brain. I love the things that she offers. And so we were talking after the retreat about just areas that I want to focus on in this business. And she's the vice president of sales for the company that she works for. And I'll let her share more about that. But that's one area that I have kind of, I don't want to say turn a blind eye to, but in the past year or so kind of avoided or whatever. So I decided to hire her to help me work through things from coaching perspective. And I fully believe in having a coach for whatever area we're wanting to focus on. So she's helping me right now with social media, technology, being smarter, like working smarter, not harder. Our first call, I showed her my notepad where I do my work, and she was like, "Boo, let me show you some things." So anyways, we've just been working on a lot of stuff, but the discussion came up around social media because that's one of the areas that I really want to focus in on. And so we kind of came up with this idea to do a team training on social media because I assume that all of you are interested in learning how to grow your business through social media. And the intention for tonight is to talk more so around Instagram, but all of the things are areas where you can apply it to Facebook if that's what you choose to, the platform that you choose to do. But I know many of you are wanting Instagram. So tonight's focus is going to be more so on Instagram. And then we're going, after Jessie shares with you some knowledge and brilliance, we're going to tee up a December challenge where you will all get to compete for fun prizes. And so we'll talk about the framework of that afterwards. But I am so excited and grateful for you, Jessie. So I am going to stop talking and let you talk and go over ways to grow your business on social media. Hold on, wait, one more thing. So we're gonna hold off questions until the end. So if you want, you're probably just gonna say that, Jessie, but if you wanna take out a notebook and write down questions that you have as we go through, just for the sake of time, we'll probably go about a half hour with the content and then stay on probably another 15, 20 minutes to talk about the December challenge. So in the concept of keeping time, we'll do questions after she talks. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking.
And with that being said, actually, Katrina, do you have to pass the hosting stuff over to me? But I want to utilize Katrina's group Facebook page for questions after. So if there's a lot of stuff, I'm happy to hang out in there and answer questions. I don't want you to think I'm just going to drop all this information on you and run away. So I'll be here to answer questions on her group and after this as well. Okay, can I share my screen? Is that what's happening? Let's see. All right, give me a holler when you guys can see my screen.
We're good.
Good? Okay, awesome. Let's see. Okay, perfect. I'll just do a quick intro. I know we've got kind of a quick class here, so I'm going to try and fly through this as fast as I can. My name is Jessie Jessica. I have a million names. I answer to all of them. Choose whichever you'd like. I'm the VP of Sales at Odeko, like Katrina mentioned. At Odeko, we do mobile ordering for coffee shops. So think like the Starbucks app, but for like your local mom and pop shop. I've been there for a couple of years, but I've been in the tech sales space for about 8 years. And this is kind of the last job I had where I had to figure out how to sell on Instagram because people that run coffee shops were not responding to emails or phone calls because they're busy running coffee shops. So that is how I got into the world of Instagram. I, a month ago, launched my success coaching business as well. So that's literally been alive for 1 month. Happy birthday to my business. Thank you for coming to its birthday party, everyone. So I've gotten really into Instagram with that as well, trying to figure out how to grow my audience and basically find people on Instagram that may be interested in working with me. So kind of similar to how you guys are able to use Instagram to find new customers and new people to join your teams as well. I'm a self-taught Instagram junkie, just super curious. I listen to all the podcasts and YouTube videos and teach myself this stuff. And big believer that no, you're not too old for this shit. Everybody's on Instagram. I know people are like, it's only the kids. The kids are doing the reels and the TikToks and stuff, but there are plenty of people that are absolutely crushing businesses on Instagram. So anybody can do it. The purpose of this is to be exciting and not intimidating. So I don't want this to scare anybody. I know we've got all ends of the gamut, people without Instagram, people that probably know all of this already. So just take it all with a grain of salt. And if you need support and help, I'll be available through Katrina's group. And then I have my Instagram handle all over this, so you'll know where to find me. Okay, super quickly, things that I hope to talk about, types of profile, types of different posts that you can do on Instagram, and then some bonus content that we won't have time for, but I'm going to drop tutorial videos in the group so that you guys can kind of peruse on your own time as well. Okay, so why Instagram? I know we're mostly talking Instagram and not so much Facebook, but Instagram is kind of the way of the future, right? I think there's a huge differentiator between Facebook being a great place for like a group, like a place where if you already have your audience, you need to connect with everyone in a group setting. Facebook is awesome for that. They're already there. You're not necessarily going to have as much reach on Facebook. So if you're looking for new customers or new people to join, Instagram is going to be where you want to hang out and what you want to use as your main platform. 1 billion active monthly users, and then 68% of their users are daily users. So people are checking this stuff every single day. You're going to get 4 times more engagement than Facebook, and it's consistently growing at a faster rate than Facebook and doing updates faster. So new platforms, new things like Reels. They just put out something called Guides that I don't even know what it is yet. They just put out last week, so I'm going to figure that out too. They're just constantly innovating and updating and adding things for you guys to use. It's also more user friendly. So Facebook's made it a little clunky for messaging. They've kind of made it harder on mobile with different apps. Instagram is all integrated. Messaging, stories, posts all live in the same place. First things first is the type of account that you have. And again, I'm going to share this whole thing, so don't feel like you have to like rush down to write anything I'm going to say. This is recorded. Katrina will have it. I'll put it on the group. So this will all be here for you. But 2 types of accounts. You have a business account and a personal account. The main difference is going to be your business account. You're going to have access to insights. We'll go over those later, but insights are going to give you basically a deep dive into who is doing what. Are people even engaging in your content? Are they looking at your page? Are they clicking on things? And then your personal account is going to be more of just for personal if you don't have a business. So this is something where you can flip your personal account to a business account if you haven't done so already. I personally have 2 separate ones only because I'm also a singer in a band, and I kind of have my one account for that type stuff and then my other account for my business. But if you're kind of doing the same thing, it's not a bad idea to just have one account and have it run as a business account. Lots of pros behind that. You know, people buy from a person that they trust. They buy from a human. They don't just want to see a bunch of pictures of products, right? So if you are part of the product, or if you do services with your products, then having one account is not a bad idea. Other things you'll see on the business account page are going to be this gray area right here where it says personal coach. You get to pick a category that you kind of live in. You'll have a bio space. Your location will show up on a business account, and then the button for insights, and then an email button. So just a quicker way for people to get in contact with you that's not going to be available on your personal page. Okay, quick things to note about a business account. So your bio is the first thing that people are going to see. If you guys don't have a good bio or a clear bio that says what you're doing there, that's the first thing you're going to want to update. You want your bio to be super clear so people go to your page and say, okay, well, what is she about? Why am I clicking here? A really good way to start if you don't have one yet is I help X do Y through Z, just like very basic. I help stay-at-home moms get healthy through meal prepping. You get the gist. Like whatever it is, just very easy, very clear statement. Your picture, you want it to be clear. You don't want it to be a super zoomed out picture. You want people to be able to connect with you right away. Have a good picture where your face is in the picture. Again, you don't want to just have a picture of a bottle of doTERRA oil. That's probably not going to draw people in as much as your face would. And then public versus private, last thing to think about here. If your page is public, you're not going to have as much private, you're not going to have as much reach. So you're going to want to have a public page so that you'll show up in searches and hashtag searches and reels and all of those good things. If you have a private page, most of this probably won't apply because your stuff's going to get lost a little bit. The other thing to look at is your consistency. So when you're scrolling through Instagram and you're looking at people's profiles, especially business profiles, you are kind of subconsciously more attracted to profiles that look consistent. So while this one that I have has like a nice like symmetrical grid, that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I just mean the colors are on point, the brand is there, all of the pictures have a similar filter. These are things that people might not necessarily know that they're attracted to consciously, but this helps when you have consistent branding throughout your page. So I included a video at the end of this that I found that's really good explaining how to come up with a brand super easily if you don't have one yet, like picking some brand colors just to stay consistent, similar fonts, things like that. And again, these are all things that are kind of above and beyond if you want to take note of these, but just to do a quick audit of your profile. Different types of posts. So just to go through mine for an example, you're going to want a couple different types of posts to have good engagement on your page. So shareable content is going to be something like this, where I have a quote, right? So this is something that somebody can easily share to their story. They think somebody might get value from this, so they can quick share it. I made this on Canva. That's another tutorial I can post. Super easy to make stuff like this on Canva. It's free. Just something that people will want to share versus like a picture of your face with words under it. They probably won't share that to their story to show anybody because they're not going to see the words on their story. So definitely some shareable content for you guys. I'm thinking that could be something like, you know, a custom roller bottle blend or a diffuser blend. Like those are things that people might say, ooh, somebody else might want to see this and share it. A resources post. So this particular post, I have an ebook that I made, again, for free. I can teach all that stuff too, but I made an ebook and was sharing a resource, so a free resource for people to download. It was a at-home self-care retreat. So that's another kind of post, is to share a resource. That could be an educational post as well for you guys. Edutainment, it's like educational entertainment I really like. I feel like reels are awesome for this. So we'll go over reels later, but I know you guys have probably seen Katrina's. I think they're hilarious. Her educational entertainment just brings some life to your page and shows your personality as well. And then the last kind of post that I have are insights, which would just be a picture of me, for example, to connect with the audience again, and then have an insight under it. So I was talking to a client today and blah, 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 trying just something that happened in my life that I wanted to share. So inspiration for these types of posts, your customers, your life, other people's pages, and each other. Like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. I think that's something people think, to start a page and have actual content, you have to like sit in a dark room and write forever to get inspired. Like, you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can get inspiration from stuff that's already out there, right? And then talking about pillars, this is something that I think makes it a lot easier to run an Instagram or social media in general, is when you have pillars that you can kind of tie your posts to. So I was trying to think of some examples for this industry, 5 pillars. It could be testimonials, could be one, showcasing the product, educational, behind the scenes, and then the business. So basically you can tie every single thing that you post to see if it fits one of your pillars. And you can come up with your pillars. They're custom to you, but some of these things, like the behind the scenes, is a great way to connect with your audience and have people engage with you. And when I say behind the scenes, I mean, you know, Katrina will post like packing and shipping. Awesome. You may think like, why would people care? People like to see that stuff, right? Even if you're like walking your dog or making a coffee, just snap a picture, throw it out there. It's fun for people to see like the behind the scenes sneaky stuff. The business, I think also sometimes we forget that we're not only selling the product, right? Especially in your case, you're also selling the life, the dream, trying to get people to join you and kind of see what you've accomplished, how you are doing it. So you're also selling the business a little bit. So just some ideas of pillars. If you kind of are able to come up with those, it's a great place to start when thinking about content. Okay, just a couple tips I wanted to put on here so you have them. Consistency is huge. So the more you're consistent with your page, with the Instagram algorithm and Facebook algorithm for that matter, the more you're going to be bumped to the top of people's pages, right? So if you're showing up consistently, whether that's on posts or stories or reels or wherever you're showing up, you're going to keep getting bumped to people's pages. I highly recommend to show up at least once per day. And I don't mean post once a day or make a reel every day. I just mean throw something on your story at least if you can once a day, just to stay consistent. Some days for me, that looks like just sharing something off somebody else's page. That takes little to zero effort, but you're still showing up, right? I would commit to a post schedule. So again, with the consistency, your audience and your customers, they're going to start expecting, it builds trust when you show up at the same time and you build a schedule, right? So if they're used to you coming on every 2 days or every 3 days, even if it's once a week, whatever it is for your post schedule, that builds trust. It builds consistency. So for me personally, I've committed to at least doing a post every other day. And if I feel so inclined to post on the days in between, that's great. But at the minimum, I've committed to every other day, I put some type of post out. And then something else to build trust, you could do a recurring theme, like every Wednesday, you do a Wellness Wednesday is a certain type of post that they're expecting every Wednesday. So another way to like build that trust with your audience and your customers. As far as timing for posting goes, I put this little chart here that I got from later.com. That's a pre-scheduling software that you can use. I don't think it's free, and I haven't used it, but if you are interested in like pre-scheduling posts, you can check out Later. They pulled this graph together. I know Mondays and Thursdays are really good for my engagement. And in your insights, once you switch to a business account and start posting more often, you'll be able to kind of check your insights and see when your audience is most active. So I can show you that as well. But the biggest thing, number 3, is to audit and then be ready to pivot. So I feel like a lot of us just put things out there and hope for the best and aren't really kind of intentional about what we're doing. And I think that's why we're all here. And so that's the point, is to be more aware and intentional and actually audit what's happening. So when you put up a post, see how it performed, see if it went well. If it didn't, and you had other posts that performed better, let's compare them. What hashtags did you use? Let's see if maybe this one was more relatable. So just being able to kind of go over and audit your posts after you're posting. And then a couple other things just to mention. I think most of you guys probably do these, but giveaways, great way to broaden your reach by having people tag friends. I know Katrina did one recently, which was like a follow, tag a friend type giveaway. That's an awesome way to broaden your reach. And the return is usually much greater than the thing you're giving away, especially if you're giving away a service, for example, then it's zero cost to you and you're getting followers or engagement even, all of the things for not doing that much. And then the hashtags. So Instagram allows 30 hashtags a post. Seems like a lot, but if you are able to find 30 hashtags that perform really well and copy and paste them somewhere, like on a note on your phone or your desktop, wherever you're doing your posting, you can just drop them into your comment. You don't have to do 30. You could play around with a couple, see how they perform. But if they offer 30, I feel like why not? Because it's just going to get you more exposure. Okay, super quick go over with insights, and I can do a longer deep dive on this later, but I just want to show you what this looks like. I feel like I'm showing you my diary right now. These are my insights from my page, but I have it set to last 30 days. So again, my page has only been alive for 30 days. So these numbers are insane. They will not always be like that because it started at 0. But your insights are going to give you an overview of your account. So this is the part that a lot of us ignore. We just kind of post and hope for the best. If we're able to kind of audit our insights, we can see what we can do more of because it's performing well, right? So the amount of accounts reached, your content interactions, followers, all of those things are available to you. If you click on your content shared piece here, it'll actually pull up all of your posts.
I'm sorry, there's somebody that's requesting to come in and I just realized you're the host and I didn't.
Oh yeah, let me let them in. How do I do that? Ugh. All right, give me a second. Participants. It's Ayla. All right, I think that worked. All right, just yell at me if anybody else is coming in. Okay, can you see my screen again? Yes, yes, okay, cool. All right, so it's gonna show you all of your posts and then you're able to kind of drill down, and this is like the nerdy fun analytics piece. Once you get into this, it can just be like going down a rabbit hole, but you can drill down to all types of things to track. So for this example, I've done post interactions. That's easy to digest. It's just comments, likes, any type of interaction on a post. And it's going to put them in order of how many. So for this one, for example, is my most interacted with posts, 65 people. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it was kind of cool. Don't have that many followers. So this post was one where I had the ebook. I put the ebook out. I asked people to download it, that kind of thing. And over here, other thing, if you click insights on a post, like if you drill down further into an actual post, you can see the insights for that post. So for this one, for example, 28 likes, 1 comment, 4 shares. So shares are huge. If you can post shareable content that people will put on their story, awesome. That's going to bump you up higher in the algorithm. And then saves are just as good as shares. So if somebody saves this to their page, they're bookmarking it for later, that's going to bump you up as well. So a like and a comment is great, but a share and a save is even better. And then this shows that 6 people clicked on my profile after looking at this, which is also good insight. And the reach was 262. So I'll show you what reach means in a second, because this can get confusing. Okay. Again, a lot of words, so you can read them later. But other things to note on your stories. So your stories do disappear after 24 hours, but you can see what's happening with your stories. So here's an easy example from today. Those of you that follow me probably saw all of these today. I searched by website tap. So I did a Black Friday deal for my coaching sessions. And I wanted to see if people were going to click on my website, right? So if I'm posting things that are advertising the sessions, ideally I want people to click on my website to go look at the types of sessions. So this post had 3 website clicks. And then if I look over here, I see, okay, 20 people, this is right after I posted it. 20 people looked at my story. 3 people clicked on my website. That's a 15% conversion rate. That's really, really good for this kind of stuff, right? So you're able to then figure out your conversion rates from these. Because then if you give it a day, you can say, okay, did anybody buy the session from my website, and drill down further. So this is like really nitty gritty, nerdy stuff here, but it's pretty cool if you start to actually pay attention to this stuff. You can start tracking it and actually see, okay, what's performing well? What should I do more of? This is just defining all the different things in the insights, because some of them can be kind of confusing, like reach versus impression, saves. Let's see. Okay, engagement. The one thing I want to mention about engagement is no posting and ghosting. Okay, so if you are posting and then people are commenting, they're engaging with your post and you're gone, they're just commenting and you're not responding, that doesn't look good for the algorithm, right? That shows that you have a bunch of people that follow you, that engage, and then you don't engage back. Instagram picks up on that stuff. So you want to make sure that you are also engaging with your engagement. So if people are commenting on your post, shoot them a like, reply to their comment, right? This is your audience, this is your group, you should be engaging with these people. Growth, let's see. Okay, other thing I wanted to mention, because I know I had a couple of people ask me about this recently, why people unfollow. So unfollowing is not bad. You're going to see dips in your follows and unfollows, and that's okay. There are bots on Instagram where all they do is like spray follow a bunch of accounts, and then Instagram actually does sweeps where they clean them all out periodically. So you may lose like even 100 followers in a day. It doesn't really matter because they're not the engaged followers. So that's what the algorithm looks for, is who's engaged. So if they're just sweeping bots out, totally fine. Other reason people do follow for follow tactic. So if you see people that start following you, liking a couple of your pictures, they might unfollow a couple days later because that's part of their growth strategy. And then just remember that even having a 50-person audience is still an audience, right? Those are 50 people that are engaged on your platform, listening to what you're saying. So even a small audience is still an audience. Okay, wanted to do a super quick kind of like live audit of these profiles. So you guys might follow these people. I'm not sure. I see here like Ayla follows a couple, Katrina follows someone, but anyway, you probably know these. But so just quick audit of these. You can see all of them have doTERRA in their title. So the reason I found these was because I searched for doTERRA and they came up. So having your product somewhere in your bio is going to be huge. You can see that in their bio, they have a call to action. So Kayla's learn more and join our global wellness tribe. Finger, click my link. Like she's telling you exactly what to do. doTERRA, join us on Danielle's with a link. Click for more magic. You want it to be foolproof. You want everybody to know exactly what they're doing. Other things to note is their branding is on point, right? So everybody has a brand identity. It's all very consistent. Kim's is very loud and colorful, and that's consistent throughout her page. You know what you're gonna get. Same with Danielle and Kayla. They're both a little more like subdued, relaxed vibe, but they're consistent throughout. The fonts are similar. The colors are there. So these are things that attract the eye without really even knowing it. So other things to note on here are their highlights. So highlights are saved stories. So stories disappear after 24 hours. If you save them, it's a highlight. You can see this is the little circles. Oh, I have my little pointer. Sorry, I keep forgetting. These are highlights right here. So I'd say their highlights are okay. You're definitely going to want something like a get started highlight and about me highlight. So when people come to your page, they know where to click, right? I would recommend looking at Danielle's get started highlight. Hers is really good. It kind of walks you through exactly what she wants you to do, what it looks like to work with her. Just be super clear on those things because this is kind of where they're going to go when they come to your page. Here's Katrina's. I wanted to showcase, I know she's going through a rebrand, but she has awesome highlights, right? You know exactly what they are. We have about me, promotions, business. She has nice graphics. I have a video later that'll show you how to make those if you want to organize your highlights this way. These are some examples of ones that I think could work really well for you guys. So like a get started, about me, FAQ, promotions, blends, all those kind of things. Just ideas for when they come to your page, where are they going to click? Okay, quick run through of Instagram stories. So disappear in 24 hours. I have a video of going over the different features in Instagram stories, but some of the things that we might not think about when utilizing stories. Highly recommend utilizing the location tags and hashtags. And that doesn't mean they have to show up on your story, right? So say you type, you tag to London, you can pinch and drag that super small so you don't even see it on your story, but then it's still going to show up in the search for London. Same with a hashtag. You can throw a couple hashtags in your story. You don't even have to see them. You can drag them really small. It's in the video. I'll show you later. But just so that they're pulling up in these searches. Same with polls. So polls are really good. That's the donut, plain or sprinkles. You can ask anything in a poll. Katrina did one today. Really good example. Just trying to plan her next retreat, asking her audience what they want. When do you want the retreat? What kind of retreat? Great use of a poll. Other ways to use a poll to get started is just simply asking who's there, right? If you're just kicking back in to this Instagram engagement, just to come on and say, hey, I see a couple new faces, like just want to know who's there. You could say, are you a mom? Are you this? Do you like this? Do you already have essential oils? Just to kind of get a gauge of who's already in your audience right now. A couple other things, countdowns are awesome. So if you guys have deals or new oils coming out, educational classes, you could do countdowns for all of these things just to get people excited about them and to keep them top of mind for them. And then the question is one of my favorites. So you could literally ask anything. It just gives them an option to answer. And again, all of these things are counting as engagement for the algorithm. So every time people engage with these, your profile is looking better and better and better to Instagram. Okay, Reels, my favorite. Reels are one of the newer things that Instagram rolled out. It's basically TikTok, if you're familiar, but on Instagram. I put a tutorial video at the end of this for how to make Reels, but awesome ideas for Reels already out there. So if you just go on Instagram and search for doTERRA or essential oils or healthy living or any types of searches, you're going to find awesome ideas for Reels. Again, we don't have to recreate the wheel. They're already out there. We can just personalize them and make them our own. I think these were a couple good accounts that I saw had a ton of oils related Reels that you guys could get ideas from. But basically the Reels are 15 to 30-second clips that I think is the best way to show your personality a little bit, connect with your audience. And Reels are the least used Instagram feature right now because they're newer. So your chance of getting seen by posting a Reel is very, very high right now. So if you're looking for new customers, new people to join your team, Reels is going to be the way to go because you're getting a huge reach at the moment. Once people start picking up on this and everybody's using Reels, that percentage is going to go down a little bit. So highly recommend getting on the Reel train sooner than later. There's Katrina's because it's one of my favorite. So I wanted to say here, for your Reels, it's an awesome place and a platform to show your personality. So Katrina, I remember we were trying to figure out her like voice and what she wanted to do with her Reels. And she was like, I think I want to be funny. And I was like, that's literally perfect. You could be hilarious on your Reels. So it's a great place to do that. Pick whatever you want. Mine are more kind of like educational. I just stand there and point at stuff because I'm not funny. I'm not gonna like be funny on my Reels because I'm not. So this is a great place for you to show your personality too. All
right, guys.
And then just some tutorials. So I definitely want to leave room for questions and other things that we could come back on and kind of dig deeper in for these things. So Katrina, I can pass it back to you, I think, if I can figure out how to Zoom, guys. Did that work?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do we have for, that was wonderful, first of all, before I just dive into questions.
I had to do that so fast.
It was very fast. So one thing to just keep in mind is there's a recording. The intention of this was to keep it within 30 minutes so you can get a lot of stuff. And then she has tutorials. So the tutorials will be available for all of you. So like how to do a reel, it will be in a tutorial or, you know, whatever area. And if it isn't yet, we can figure it out and get you that. So if there's something as far as like, I need to know how to do a reel, I had Jesse show me probably 7 times because there wasn't a tutorial. So it's great that that is something that you'll have access to. So,
and honestly, no question is dumb. Like, even if it's how do I set up my account, I am more than happy to walk anybody through that from the Facebook page. If you just drop it in there, I can post a video of any tutorial. Another thing I want to say, just the ones that I already have planned are a Canva tutorial, like how to make shareable graphics in Canva super easily and for free, and a Lightroom tutorial. So that's what I use to keep all my photos consistent with the same filter on all of them. So I'll drop both of those in there.
Okay. Who has questions or thoughts? Or I know we're across the spectrum as far as Instagram goes. So anyone?
Yeah, I have a question. So 2 actually. So the first is that, you know, being able to use up to 30 hashtags per post. How do we start with identifying what some of the best hashtags to start with are if we don't have any data or insights to kind of look at to start with?
That's an awesome question. Okay, so number one thing you want to do is figure out who your target customer is. So I know for you guys that might be a little broad, but even if you figure out who you're like, if you had your perfect customer that you could show up on their feed, who are they? And then look for hashtags around that type of person. So if it is like stay-at-home mom, hashtag stay at SAA, you get what I mean. You know, like figure out who they are and then what types of hashtags that person is posting and searching for. Healthy living, essential oils, those are just great obvious places to start. But if you want to drill down into more of that like ideal client persona, you can do a little kind of digging around that too.
And just to reiterate, because I know that there's some of you that are on here that are still using Facebook, and that's the platform that you're at, this is applicable there too. And like, I just switched it so that my Instagram, whatever I post to my Instagram stories, shows up on my Facebook stories. So you can have it synced so that you're doing it in one place and it's showing up in both places. So for those of you that are still new to the Instagram world, you're able to link it so that it can also show up on your Facebook as well. Gail asked, although I have an Instagram account, I have never used it. Am I correct that I would use my phone and not my laptop to use Instagram?
So most of these things are going to be easier to do on your phone, but Instagram actually does have a desktop version. I don't know how much you can do on it. I know you can message, which is great if you guys are talking back and forth to all your customers on Instagram. The desktop version is awesome for that because you can use your keyboard. But as far as posting and creating videos and reels, I think mobile is going to be your best bet.
Anyone else have any questions?
Go ahead, Liz.
Oh, I didn't know if you were done or not. You can go.
Oh, I was just going to ask, is there going to be a tutorial on doing highlights too?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So highlights are a little more, to make the covers, they're a little more in depth. So I still need to do mine because my account's new. I found one that this other girl made that's awesome. So I'm going to put that in the Facebook group because she did a great job. And again, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. She's crushed it.
Love it. This kind of piggybacks off of Sarah's question with hashtags. Somebody had told me once to put your hashtags as a comment as opposed to as the actual, I don't know what the other part is called.
The comment bar or the caption.
Yeah, put it as instead of a caption. I think just because it looks prettier.
Yeah, there's two reasons for that. It's a good point. So I think one of the reasons is because there is a character limit for your captions. So if you're doing 30 hashtags and you're writing a really long caption, which is not discouraged to write a long caption, you are going to want to drop your hashtags in a comment. So that's a great point. And I think the other reason is it does help a little bit with your engagement because it counts as a comment. So it may skew your data from your point of view, as long as you're like, I got 6 comments on this and you just know that one is from you. But yeah, that's a good point. If you run out of space, you can drop them in a comment and they'll still pull up on the hashtag view.
Cool. And then the other question I have is piggybacked off of what Katrina was saying about linking your Instagram to your Facebook. So my Instagram isn't a business page yet. Well, it was, and then I went back. Like I went back and forth a couple times. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's easy to switch, yeah.
It's easy to switch. So I have mine currently linked to my personal Facebook, but I've considered linking it to my Facebook business. Are there pros and cons, and what do you recommend?
I am not super up on the linking to Facebook thing. I would guess it would make sense to link to your business. I think the only other plus would be if you had more followers and engagement with your personal page, then maybe link it there because it's going to get more visibility. Yeah.
I have a couple other questions. Does anybody else?
Oh, I was like, who's talking?
Oh, me.
I was looking around. Okay.
Okay, so in my Instagram, I use Linktree, and sometimes I ask people to like go to the link in my whatever it's called, not a profile, in my bio. Yes. But that's not my question. That leads me to the other question. Oh, you said something about websites and stories. So I didn't even know you could put your website link in your story. I always thought that like only if you had X amount of followers could you.
So yeah, good point. So if you have, what is it? 10,000, it's so much, I don't even know, to get the swipe up. Yeah. So as far as the website clicks, that's them just clicking for your example, Linktree. So if you're scrolling through stories and on a story, you see, I'm giving away 25% off my services, and you clicked on my profile and then went to my website. That's what that's tracking.
Oh,
right. So if you tell people in a story to click the link in your Linktree, you'll be able to track to see how many people clicked it after that story.
So okay.
Yeah.
So go from the story to my profile to my bio.
Yep.
And-
If you did a story and you're talking to the camera and you're like, go click my link tree, blah, 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 you can see how many people stopped your story and went and clicked your link tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my last question is there any school of thought around the ratio of how many people you follow versus how many people are following you?
So there's like a lot of different opinions on this, and I don't think there's actually an answer. I think it's all vanity metrics, honestly. Some people think it looks bad if you're following more people than are following you. I don't think it does much for your engagement as far as the algorithm goes.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
always curious about that. I didn't know if there was like science behind it or if it was just like, I don't know.
I think there's a lot of arguments about it. I don't know the exact answer. Instagram's super sneaky too. All this talk about the algorithm is just stuff that people have found out from testing it. So like they haven't even come out and said how their algorithm works.
You had something on one of the slides that said batch it, and I have a feeling that's like,
I didn't even
that's
mention that, did I?
I don't think so. I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to know about that.
Yeah, so I was gonna say ways to batch your content so you don't have to like sit throughout the week and think of content all week long. I personally recommend, I usually do Sunday mornings because I know I'm creative on Sunday mornings. I get my coffee, I sit down, and I'm able to just think of ideas. So what I do, I have a note on my phone that I have all the time that during the week, if I have something that comes up with a client or something I think might be interesting, put it in my note. And then I do my batching on Sunday. So I'll come up with content, I'll get on Canva and create some of the shareable content. And then if I want to go as far as to create the posts with the captions and save them as drafts, I can literally get everything ready on Sunday to just shoot out during the week.
Do you save them as drafts in Instagram somehow?
I do like one post as a draft that I can be ready to go for Monday. You can save it as a draft. If you go to exit the post, it'll ask if you want to cancel it or save it as a draft. You can also save reels as drafts as well. So if you film an entire reel and then you go to exit the reel, you can save it as a draft.
That's neat. Now, can you only save one at a time?
That's a great question. I usually only do one at a time, so I'm not sure, but I'll have to try it. But then another quick tip about batching content or trying to think of what to post. Most things that I post, if I can't think of anything, like you are posting something that you think your audience will benefit from or wants to hear. So if it helps to think of one specific person that you work with, be like, what do they need to hear right now? Boop, let's put that out there. I'm sure somebody else does too. So just another tip of how to think of stuff to say. And I think the worst thing you could do is have analysis paralysis and just like mull over what to say for 3 days and not put anything out there. So definitely don't overthink any of this. Like it's better to just show up and post a picture of your coffee than it is to not post anything at all. I think that's like bottom line here is just show up.
All right, that's it. That's all I have for questions. But thank you so much. That was awesome. I think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of us. So thank you.
Yeah. I feel like you guys are going to love Katrina's challenge.
One thing to piggyback off of that, because I have had an analysis paralysis when it comes to Instagram for a very long time. With the batch it thing, like, so to go back to Jesse was talking about having your pillars. So as I've been working with Jesse just recently, have gone into, okay, what are the pillars that I want to focus on? Like, what is my goal to close? What is it that I want to be known for? And so with in the challenge, you'll see like the ones that I have written out for myself, but the pillars are LRP or like monthly wellness box, business, education, whatever. And then my post, how I'm creating it is each month kind of having like a vibe around my brand that I want. So this month with December, like gift giving or things like that. So there's a vibe, but then my posts are fitting into the 5 pillars. So I don't know if that is helpful for anybody as far as like figuring out how you want to go at it, but that just kind of helps me to get into a flow so that I can help myself come up with content. But
I think that's a really good point. And the other thing to add, if you do get stuck in that analysis land, is that you all need to remember that you guys are all experts. Like, stop getting in your head about like, well, I don't know if this is right, or like, who cares about this? You all come to these trainings every single week. Like, you know the stuff. You are experts. People are coming to you. So anything you put out, just be confident in that. Like, you know what you're talking about.
Right. Well, and even Jesse said the other day to me, like, post diffuser blends. And to me, I'm like, what? Like,
Oh.
that's, and she's like, yeah, I don't know, because she has oils, and she's like, yeah, like, that's helpful. So
I'm a customer, right? So I'm going on Pinterest and looking up diffuser blends. I'm like, I follow all you guys. I should be looking at your pages for this stuff. Like, there's so many opportunities for stuff to put out there that people are actually looking for. I'm actually looking for that stuff. I have a little drawer of my oils now, and I don't know what to do with them. Show me what to do.
we'll talk about that later. No, just kidding.
I'm kidding. I have them in my diffuser right now. But
You're
other than
fine.
that,
I'm joking. I'm teasing you.
I was
What-
just gonna say that paralysis, I think, is very real for, at least for me. I can't speak for everyone, but when I have that sort of issue, it's almost like you have that expectation on yourself to say something really profound, like you've got the soapbox and you've got to like shatter everything with your words. But I think I'm seeing and I'm noticing a lot more lately that sometimes it can just be like a sentence or two that is just a little bit thought provoking. You don't have to fill in all the blanks for like what they need to think.
Right. Here's another tip. The more that you post, the less dramatic the one post is, right? It's like you're just constantly posting, so it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? Go ahead, Carrie.
So with Facebook, it's all been brought to our attention that with the analytics and stuff, and they're just blocking us from selling. Do you see that that's an issue currently on Instagram? And is there potential that that too will become an issue?
I haven't seen it yet. The only thing that I know that they have been doing on Instagram is taking out the recent hashtags. Like, there used to be the view for top hashtags and recent, and they took out the recents. I think because of the pandemic and the false news, they're just taking it out. I think it'll come back. It's not super affecting anything right now because people are still able to see the stuff that you're posting. And then I think the only other thing that they're doing is potentially removing the amount of likes. So like not being able to see that. Some people are freaking out. I don't think it's a huge deterrent. So sorry, that's kind of a, I don't really know answer.
Well, I just know, especially for, I mean, what we do is wellness advocates in the holistic world. I mean, I'm sure you know that there's a lot of blockage out there.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, just working on this presentation too, I did a lot of searching for different hashtags for essential oils, doTERRA. Everything was coming up, and I was finding tons of people there. So
good.
Like, working. Yeah. Actually, are you on Instagram?
I am.
I feel like your page came up. What's your Instagram name?
Rough Essentials.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like you're like up there. Am I wrong?
Oh,
is that, yeah?
I mean, I don't have a ton of people on there. I don't think I'm
so
super
funny. I was
cool.
trying to find people that you guys maybe wouldn't know. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're like the fourth person that comes up on mine.
Oh,
when I
nice.
search doTERRA. Congrats, that's awesome.
Really? Like out of everybody on Instagram?
For my
Or
phone. So
yours? Okay, I was gonna say, I don't think I'm that cool.
But you've got doTERRA in your bio. So you're
Right.
coming up when I type doTERRA, right?
I don't even know if mine's a business account, in all honesty.
I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
But it's coming up. So there's a great example. I typed in doTERRA and she pops up on my thing.
Perfect. I mean, I noticed that too, because when I'm on Instagram, like I like to follow, you know, diamond leaders, blue diamond and above, and the ones, I mean, that's where I get my inspiration from. And not even only doTERRA, I hop into other accounts too, you know, of inspirational people. And I've never had a problem with searching for anything holistic, like anything crystals, spiritual, like any oils, any of that type of stuff. So, but
Yeah.
all right, well, fingers crossed
I
it'll
know.
last for a while. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any other questions for tonight? And again, we'll have a thread where you can post questions on
Yeah.
Facebook.
I'll
So
be creeping on the group. So throw anything in there and I'll try and answer.
perfect. Okay, do you guys want to see what the challenge is for December? Because we're all doing this. I mean, we're not all. That's not what I meant to say. If you want to do this, I am doing
Do I have
it.
to make the host again? Is that something I do?
I can share it. I have it pulled up.
I work in technology and I'm just like struggle bus when it comes to Zoom. I cannot. Okay.
No, it's fine. I have it. So I'll, you don't need to, I can pull it up. So, with this, so here's the concept. If you want to be a part of the December challenge and roll this out for yourself, awesome. The more the merrier. A couple of things logistically. So the December challenge will be for 4 weeks and it's all a point system. So there are prizes associated to different increments of points. And also because I'm doing this for myself, like I literally just started doing this. There's also a Beat Katrina component where you each get to go head to head. And if you beat me, you get an additional prize, which I just feel like is fun because we're all on a level playing field with this. Like, I don't know what the crap I'm doing and I'm figuring it out and falling on my face also. So let's do it together. So with the challenge, there are different things that are encouraged. So there's a little framework, but it's all based off of point system. So each thing that you do gets you a couple of points or 1 point. And then at the end of each week, you'll fill out a form to track your points. Now you're also going to have an accountability partner where you can work together. They can view things. You can use them as a resource like, hey, I just did this. What are your feedback? Vice versa, so that you have that. And then once a week, your accountability partner will be going in and checking your page and vice versa so that you have some camaraderie around it. So as far as the challenge goes, okay, so now I'm not the host anymore, or what just happened? You disabled my screen share. Give it back. Give it back.
I'll make you the host.
Okay, just make me the host.
Make host. Change host.
Okay.
Also, guys, follow each other, like each other's stuff, comment on each other's stuff. It helps. The little things help.
Plus, it makes it feel less isolating. Like I'll post something and then Jesse's on it, and I'm like, oh, thank you, because I felt like I just bare the depths of my soul to the world. Okay, so this top part, let's just talk about the point system. So here's the prizes, and this is every person that gets this. So you are not competing against each other, you're competing against yourself. So if you earn 50 to 100 points over the course of December, you'll earn $50 worth of oils from me. If you earn 101 to 150 points, you get a 2-pack of life coaching sessions with me. You get $50 off of the next retreat, and you get $50 in free oils. If you have 151 to 200 plus, you get a 4-pack of coaching sessions. You get $100 off of the next retreat, and you get $100 worth of free oils. And then if you beat me, you get a 4-pack of coaching, you get a 4-pack for a friend, you get $100 off of the next retreat, and you get $200 of oils. So there's a lot more up for grabs if you beat me. So.
And because I'm going to be on Katrina's butt this whole time, I will throw in a 3-pack if you beat Katrina.
Oh dear. I like
Best of luck to everyone.
Oh, this is good. Oh boy. Okay. Cool. I'm even more excited, except just so you know, I'm not letting you beat me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I want you guys to beat me. This part is inspiration for me because I need my own accountability to do this. So couple of reminders on here for each of you. Try to use 30 hashtags per post, add content to your stories daily, make a post or a reel at the peak time, choose your theme, colors, and branding. And the other thing is, so there's going to be a tracking thing on your points, but for every 50 followers that you gain over the month of December, you're going to earn 50 points. So look at what your number of followers are right now, because this is going to start tomorrow. Look at where you're at, and then that's something that you're going to want to keep track of as well. These
And
are
as we mentioned, the people are going to follow, unfollow the bots, everything. That number that Katrina will grab will be at the end of December. So just know where you start, and she'll grab the number at the end.
Yes. These are some pillar suggestion ideas. So if you wanted to do a system where it's like once a week you talk about the business, once a week you talk about how to enroll or aspects around enrollment, LRP, the difference with doTERRA oil education, like you can think of what you want for your pillars, but those were just some ideas based on where I'm going with my posts. And then ideas for monthly tasks. So you could do an invitation to learn about the business. So maybe it's a Wednesday night, I'm going live to share more about the business. What kinds of questions do you have, whatever. But a monthly idea would be to teach them about the business. 101 class, so you can do a live and do that. You could do some sort of a 102, meaning just an expanded topic. So maybe you want to do a live on class, some sort of a class. I'll read the comments in just a second because I see that there's some chats popping up. A giveaway is a great idea. And maybe your giveaway is to, I don't think Jesse fully talked about this, but you could have it be something where you encourage comments or you encourage them to share the post, like share it to their stories or tag some friends. So that's a way to create engagement. And then some sort of a post where you're doing an about me. So like a little intro, because sometimes you'll gain followers and they don't know necessarily a ton about you. Who is blowing up the chats? Oh, Jesse, you're on it. Perfect. Thank you. And then, so you'll do like a little intro thing. You can do that once a month. Other ideas, trying to do at least two reels per week. 2 of the questions, meaning in your stories, like asking a question, 2 polls per week, a live, and then an IGTV, which we can have Jesse do a little bit on that. So there's 4 weeks outlined. This is just a framework to give you an idea if you need the creative edge. Because I know for me, like getting in that analysis paralysis, this is helpful for me. So these are just ideas, but that doesn't mean if you do all of the things in week 1 and you're really wanting to compete and win the coaching packages and win the free oils and stuff, you can do things from week 1 and do things from week 2 and 3 and 4 all in week 1 and use all of this stuff all the time. So this is just a framework, because if you just do these bare bones, you won't get to the 200 mark just doing this alone. So you want to pull from the other things. So for example, maybe week 1, you want to share a unique, an invitation to learn about the business. Okay, perfect. Do that in week 1 and you'll get 2 points. And then if you do it again in week 2, you'll get another 2 points. So it doesn't have to happen in the week that it's listed. But different ideas of things that you can do on your page to get through this. So coming up with your 5 pillars, that's just more of a 5 pillars. That's more of your planning. So getting organized. But you can go through this. I'm going to post this right after our call so you can see the tasks you can plan. Like tonight would be a great time to just sit and think about, okay, what colors do I want to use? What is my branding going to look like? What do I want my pillars to be? I'll post these graphics tonight. And then if you want to do the December challenge, you'll comment below and then I'll pair up the accountability groups, your partner, tonight. Or if like if one of you is drawn to someone else, reach out to them tonight and say, hey, will you be my accountability partner? And then you guys can kind of use each other and use that camaraderie. So if you know that there's somebody that you're inspired by and you want to work, be their accountability person, then just comment that. So you could say, like Liz could say, I'm in and Sarah's my accountability partner, or whatever that looks like. So these are the different things. So you'll just see it's like share some 101 info, share about enrollment kits, post a business testimony, just different ideas of things. So questions as far as the December challenge goes.
So we basically we just need to keep track of everything that we're doing every single day throughout the day. And at the end of the week, we get the form and we have to put in what we did.
To earn points. Yeah. So the way that I'm planning, and this isn't, nobody else has to do it this way, but I'm planning it out in advance so that I know, like Mondays, I'm doing whatever, maybe a reel or whatever, like I'm kind of outlining my week, because I'm trying to be more proactive versus just waking up and being like, what do I feel like doing today? Like I'm trying to plan it out, but however you want to track it, Carrie, and then there'll be a form once a week to submit. Yeah, and that'll be due, so it'll be, it'll go Monday to Saturday. I'm sorry, that's not what I wanted to say. Monday to Sunday. And then I'll share Monday nights where we're at, so we can keep, so you know where you're at point wise, and where I'm at point wise.
So you win by accumulation of points, not by like a percentage of change in your analytics.
You win by points. Yep. And then you get additional percentage on gaining followers. What would be a way that we could do an analytic point system? Because I'm totally fine with doing that. What could we do?
The key part is if not everybody has a business page. So I think that's why we were thinking to make it more just point driven, just in case people are using their personal page.
Okay, perfect.
It seems tricky to track. That's my only reservation. That's all.
With the points?
Yeah, like, because let's say you don't set it up in advance in the week, and then you're doing posts as you're feeling inspired to do them. I think it's, I just know that's going to be a struggle for me, is making sure that I track everything I do.
What if we had some sort of a tally sheet that you can print out and have it at your desk? Would that make it easier?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. So like a grid that has the actual amount of points and what it's for, and then you can just check it off as you go. Yeah, I think that would be really
okay.
nice. Otherwise,
Rather than doing it by week.
Yeah, even if you did it on a daily basis, right? Like not as you went through the day, but at the end of every day, just go back and see, okay, what did I do today? Yeah.
Yeah,
And rather than doing it on like a weekly, like week 1, week 2, just number them for like all 0.1 points, all 2 points, all 3 points.
I think we still want to have it be weekly so that we can keep track. One of the things too that I am working on is tracking things that I am doing like on a daily basis. So that's something else. Like if we do the tally and you can keep track, like I'll do that tonight so that you have that. But I'm finding I go through the day and like, it's kind of like tracking what you eat. Like if you don't pay attention, you don't pay attention, right? So there's also value in the tracking process. So that's something that I'm working on is tracking stuff. So I think this would be good for me and maybe for others.
I think that what you suggested is a really good idea. Have like days 1 through 30 on the left-hand side and then across the top. So, I mean, the actually doing the activities doesn't feel overwhelming. Tracking them does right now.
Tracking them. Yeah. Okay. So then I'll do a grid. That's great feedback. I'll do a grid tonight and have that available to start for the morning.
I think like the way it would be like most helpful is if everything's on one page.
Yeah.
As like a snapshot of the month on one page.
Yep. So we'll do the 31 days down the side, the left-hand side, the ways that you can earn points along the top. Perfect. Okay.
I also have a quick request. I just put a link in the Facebook group for one of the tutorials. I'll share the presentation in there. And then also, Katrina, I don't know if you want to make a post or something, but if everybody could share their Instagram handles, I'd love to follow you guys and kind of play along.
Perfect. So I will tonight add the link to this recording as soon as it takes a little bit to do that. What I'll do is immediately after tonight's call, I'm going to do a post to see who is interested. If you're interested in doing the December challenge, comment with your Instagram handle, like what you're at Your Life Fuel is. And then if you have a request for an accountability person that you've already worked through. And then we can put everything under that. So once the video is ready to be like it, once it's on YouTube, I'll go back into that. So it's all on that same thread. And then we can add, like Jesse, any extra videos, tutorials, links, we'll put it all in that thread. So it's all in one spot, because otherwise it gets crazy. Yeah, perfect.
You said you're adding these graphics that you have pulled up right on the page tonight, so I can print them off. Okay.
Yeah. Sure am. I'm going to do that right after this. What if we had a Google Sheet with each person as a tab on the bottom? Ooh. That would be the easiest way to track, right? Then you just go to the Google Sheet and get your tab. Brilliant. Look at these brains. Okay, Google Sheet link will be available in a few minutes. I'll work on it right now.
The only thing I wasn't sure of is if people were okay with like seeing other people's stuff, because it would be a shared Google Sheet. So like,
I think that's part of it, right?
that's what I was thinking, but I just wanted to throw that out there, you know, like it would be motivating for me to be like, oh my gosh, I can so do that. I'm so close, you know, so.
Can we?
Yeah.
No.
What?
I was gonna say, is there a way that we could make a separate one and we save it, and that's how we track it? So we just copy and paste it into the shared Google one.
Yeah,
At the
just
end
make,
of the
make your own Google Sheet with the template. Just copy and paste it into your own Google Sheet. And
I'm
then
probably gonna do a handwritten one and
do
then
whatever
put it-
floats
yeah,
your
okay.
boat. Jesse can give you shit about needing to do it on paper, and we can be in that boat together.
I'm a paper person because I
have a
travel around my house with my paper.
I had an issue with Katrina tracking all of her database on paper.
I had like 700 papers.
Computer, but I don't always have my computer on hand. And I'm so freaking
Well-
squirrely that if I don't write it down, like I'll forget.
Yeah, newsflash, if you're posting on Instagram, you'll have your phone right there. So, I mean, I'm just one paper lover to another, letting you know that you'll have some form of tracking technology, but that's fine. They're just teasing you. Okay, so the Google Sheet will be available tonight. I will do a link just by a show of hands based on where you're at right now. Who is wanting to do the December challenge? Feeling inspired to do this? Okay, perfect. The others of you, Megan, I'm not sure there's just gonna dance on that. The thing with this is it's a challenge for yourself. So it's not, I mean, the winning aspect for sure is something, but even if you aim for 50 points, like it's still going to grow your business. So for those of you that are brand new to this, I would just encourage you to try, and maybe you switch it. 1 second, just 1 second. You switch it to be for Facebook, because I would honor those points for a Facebook thing too. So if you wanted to do a video and a live on your Facebook, like I'll honor those points. It doesn't need to be specific to Instagram. So I would just challenge you, like if you want to explore something creatively and tweak the rules a little bit with me in a way that would amplify your business, let's chat so that we can come up with a system that would best support you in your social media growth. Cool. Okay, so I will post that as soon as we get it off. Thank you for staying on a little bit longer than how we intended. I appreciate all of your time. And Jesse, thank you so much for all of your help with this. I'm excited to see everyone and what we come up with. So yeah, any final thoughts tonight?
I'm super excited for this one. This is like 50 times more exciting than best month ever for me.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
Thanks
cool,
for
cool.
having me. This is awesome.
Love it.
Hello, my friend Olivia.
little girl.
And the final thought is, if this isn't exciting, there's something brewing for January. So tomato, tomato. If this isn't your jam, there's something fun coming, but I just encourage you all to do it. Play along. Let's have fun. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week. And don't forget, so Instagram inspo, the holiday items are available tomorrow morning for the second wave of things. And it's all the wonderful things.
Throw
So-
a countdown on your story.
Every Instagram has to have a stalker. I will be the stalker. Okay.
I love it.
Carol.
I love it. All right, everybody, have a great evening. And
Bye. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you,
Awesome.
Katrina.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Yeah.
Little girl.